I just want to start this video off by thanking all of you for helping me to launch the elegantoxford.com so successfully. It's been absolutely crazy around here with the launch, so I'm thinking I'll be uploading a new video every Wednesday so I can balance orders and these videos and also the website. For those who haven't visited the site, I hope you'll head on over and check it out. You'll be able to purchase some, if not all, of the products you see me use in my videos, and there's even a 5% discount code for you if you decide to get anything. All that info is in the description here below. Also, a lot of people have been telling me that they're not being notified when I upload a new video, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that every time I upload, you'll be notified. This is the Elegant Oxford. We specialize and offer premium shoe shines, dyes, and artisan patinas for quality men's brands and help others to learn the art of shoe shining. Visit theelegantoxford.com for all of your shoe care needs. Okay, so let's get started. This pair of Allen Edmonds Fifth Avenues just looks really tired. You can see there's some heavy creasing along the vamp, and it looks like salt damage or water damage or old polish. So in today's video, I'm going to revamp these, just give them a fresh new look. Nothing too crazy, I'm just going to make sure they look faithful to the original color, but also so that they look a lot better than what they look now. Okay, so let's get started on this thing. Okay, like I've mentioned in other videos, you need a good shoe tree before you get started. Now, you don't want it to be too tight and you don't want it to be too loose, but a snug shoe tree will work just fine. So here's an old vintage shoe tree I have, and I find that these work really well. So, there we go. And now the shoe's ready. Okay, so you basically have two choices. You can use Saphir Renomat, here it is right here, to remove old polish and dirt and grime. But it may not be sufficient. If you really have to go hardcore, you might have to use acetone. But I'm going to start off using the Renomat to see what results we get, because I might have to go even further with acetone, but I'm just not sure at this point because every pair is kind of an experiment. So let's see here. See that? It's removing some old polish, some dirt. So I'm not sure if this will be enough yet, but you know, I think it might be enough, but that's what you get for working on shoes on video. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen, and it's kind of unexpected. Okay, seems to be some stuff around here. You kind of got to apply some moderate pressure. See, yeah, some stuff's coming off. And don't be afraid to kind of use your nail if you have to. Not too hard though, just to make sure you get some of this excess stuff off. You can see the tongue's really dirty as well. So, yeah, it was nasty. So just get on in there and keep cleaning. Don't forget to switch over to a cleaner area of the rag here once in a while. You don't want to spread that dirt around. So make sure to get into the nooks and crannies. I know that can be hard sometimes, but do the best you can. And if you need to use a cotton swab or a tool, an improvised tool, you can do that as well. But right now I really just want to get all that stuff off. Gosh, I'm trying not to breathe hard because I'm using a lot of pressure, but I don't want to sound like I'm out of breath, but sometimes you really scrub hard. It feels like you are out of breath. So sometimes it's embarrassing. People comment, they're like, "Oh, how come I can hear your breathing so loud?" Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I am scrubbing harder than you might think. I'm sorry, I'm having a good laugh about that. But yeah, just keep scrubbing and just have fun with it. I know it can be a frustrating process, especially if you bought shoes and they cost you a lot of money, and now you have to, reshine them because you stepped in a puddle of water or something like that. But just try to have fun with it. Okay, now this area looks particularly nasty, but let's try the Renomat here. Let's see what we can get off. yeah, it's getting it off. I'm glad I don't have to use acetone. I still may, but for right now everything looks okay, because acetone is really a powerful chemical that'll strip off even the factory finish, and if I do that I might have to re-dye the shoe, but looks okay so far. Yeah, I can't seem to get in over here, so I'm gonna use a little cotton swab, dip it into the Reno mat, just like that, and then kind of do that. Sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes there's just nooks and crannies by the welt, and there's just no way to get down there except for using a Q-tip or a cotton swab. This is just one of my favorite tools, and it seems to work. So use what you have. If you have to run down to the 99-cent store and get some, may not be an option right now, but it's definitely good to have around. Okay, here's some more nastiness right here. Wow, it's doing a great job. So I'm pretty happy. This looks like old wax, and wax looks great when you shine it, but if it gets old and cracks, it can look pretty unsightly. So this is a good option here. Just make sure you get all that. If you have to use a cotton swab, like last time, here we go. Got some right here. Just go into these nooks and crannies. Just trying to get that all off. So remember, acetone is an option, but if you do that, you're going to remove the factory finish and there's going to be extra work involved. So it's just not one of those jobs I want to do that with. Okay, so I really like Saphir leather dye. It's alcohol-based instead of oil-based. So I found that alcohol-based dyes absorb into the leather really, really well. Oil-based dyes kind of look shinier, but I really don't need that since I'm going to be polishing the shoe off anyway. So I just use, for this job, I'll just use a cotton rag around my finger and a little bit of dye, not too much, okay? Just a small amount. There we go. And it matches the chili color, the Allen Edmonds chili color, really well. It's kind of a reddish brown kind of type of color. And just kind of rub it in with your finger just to refresh the color. It just looked a little pale on us here. Okay, the leather might darken a little bit, but that's just completely normal. Ew, it's not permanent. There we go. It's like you're repainting a car, just a fresh coat so the car looks nice and fresh. A lot of people don't know this either, but if you buff leather dye once it's applied and dried, it'll give you a nice little shine. It's not a great shine, but you know, it's just a nice revamp color just to give it back what it lost. Okay, now that the leather has dried, we have to add some conditioner, and you have two options. You have Saphir, Renovateur, or the Napa Leather Balm. And the Napa Leather Balm is more for delicate leathers, and it's an option if you'd like. But I'm going to use Renovateur because that's usually what I use anyway. For those who know my channel well, it's my go-to. I found using your finger is the best idea, just for control and for the amount you want to use. You don't want to use a lot, about 1/4 of a pinky nail, and just massage it into the leather, just like that with your two fingers. You don't need more than that. Just a tiny bit more for the cap, just like that. So use less than you think. Just put one coat. Forgot to mention, I should have actually recorded this. I used leather dye on the welt here. Same leather dye that I used on the top of the upper, I used on the welt just to add that color back. So it's a good idea. So you let it dry for 5 minutes, and you can let it dry for more if you'd like, but 5 is enough. Then you use a brush. Just brush it to a nice shine. Now it's time for some colored cream polish. And I think you really have two choices here, mahogany or cognac. And depending on what shade you want to accentuate, you can use either for red tones for mahogany and amber and golden tones for cognac. I think I'm going to go with cognac, maybe a little bit of mahogany. Same process as before, just apply a little bit at a time. If you want, you can use the high shine chamois. If your brush is leaving some streaks, which can happen, just use the soft cloth here and buff it to a nice shine. And that's what 1 jar of Saphir can do. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to use some wax polish to do a mirror shine. Now you have 2 options for the mirror gloss. You actually have 3. You can use light brown, mahogany, or you can use neutral, but I like to add color with my colored wax polishes. Colored wax polishes, excuse me. I'm probably going to use light brown. It's not a perfect match, but the color from here you'll be able to see it. So this wax doesn't have a lot of pigment, so it's not going to overpower it a lot. And if you take a look, it's actually kind of yellow, so that should be fine. Okay, so for a mirror shine, you're going to start off by adding layers with your fingers, like this. Okay, make sure to get down in the nooks and crannies, like that. You can buff this later, just putting a layer of wax over the shoe. Okay, just concentrate on the cap though. Keep adding layer after layer, and you can initially put like 8, 9, 10 layers, then you let it dry, and then you start the mirror shine, and that just produces a really fast and quick mirror shine. If you haven't seen my comprehensive tutorial that I left, I'll leave the link in the description below. I got a mirror shine in 5 minutes with that method, so it's a pretty good one. Just keep adding wax polish. So make sure you get down here as well. And the friction and the heat from your fingers is going to really melt it down. Whoops, got a little bit too much right there. Don't want that much. Just keep rubbing it in like that. Okay, and then once you've done this, let it wait. Let it sit for 5 minutes, and then you can start the buffing. Okay, so make sure to get your ice cube, a little bit of water with rubbing alcohol. Get a little bit on your fingers there. Just make sure the excess is dabbed off. You don't want too much on there. Okay, and then you start, okay? Just back and forth. Touch the wax, just touch it. The heat from your fingers will melt it a little bit. You'll get some on there. Back and forth. Touch the ice cube. Okay. Okay, and just keep going. It's going to take a little bit, but be patient. Just add some wax. Just keep going. Okay, just build it up, and in due time you'll have that mirror shine you need. Okay, so the mirror shine's looking really great. I just want to show you how to finish the mirror shine off once you've gotten far enough where you want to finish. You need to get to a clean part of the cloth around your fingers. So make sure it's a brand new area, that it's clean. And you can put some alcohol water on there, and then you buff it. Okay. Back and forth. And if you need to, just touch the wax. And getting lint on your mirror shine can really make it look terrible. So go back and forth. Just like that. Just buff it. There you go. It's looking a lot better. You can see one of my lights here on the side. So just keep doing that process gently. Back and forth. Not too much pressure.